The word market has gone through much transformation through the years. It generally refers to the demand of service or trade. However, over time and in history, the word has broadened and changed. In early times, and as we observe in this photo, we understood market as a place where one went to shop for perishable items or barter. As time passed, economic historians and political theorists have elaborated distinctions that can help us with this term with greater detail. In contrast to earlier times, and in the modern age, the word market can refer to its first origins, but can also refer to the economy, the market economy. With the changes in what the word actually means, came the great transformation that Poliani identified as the separation of economic relations from government superintendence to a competitive market for their labor. The word market is very rarely used without another word attached to it. It is normally a compound term or hyphenated. For example, farmer's market, trader's market, job market, just to name a few. The significance is broad, therefore it requires subclassification. The slave market is another clear example of how the word was used to describe different trade, even those that involved humans. In reference to the many significant definitions of the word market, we must talk about the crash of the stock market in 1929. That brought on the Great Depression. Although this physically occurred in New York, it was a domino effect that affected the entire nation, and then the entire world. By 1933, the labor market had soared to 25%, and the ripple effects from the fallen stock had begun to affect American families. The desperation that plagued the United States was evident. As we observe in this image, families were greatly affected, and people were desperate to survive the economic hardship by doing even the unthinkable. Making money was something that had to be done, and selling their children was something that occurred during these times, along with stealing and partaking in any crime. The Great Depression finally came to an end at the completion of World War II. Although unemployment had begun to increasingly recover slowly, and life in America began to gain normalcy. Since the end of the Great Depression and in modern times, we have experienced the Great Recession that began at the end of 2007 and continued through the years 2009-2010. Millions of Americans were jobless, and times began to mimic those of the 1930s. However, this time the repercussions were not as serious. It lasted a couple of years, and the economy is still in a state of recovery. The world did yet again feel the ripple effects of the American economy, demonstrating how fragile our markets can be. Although the word market is significantly broader than in modern times, it is one of the most important words that one must pay attention to in our daily lives. The weight the word carries is enormous and should never be taken lightly.